radiologist who speaks from the point of view of both doctor and patient. She was diagnosed in 2007 at age 44 with stage 3C ovarian cancer, stage 3C. Following 3 surgeries and rounds of chemo and various therapies, she's still in treatment, and her mission now is to educate the next generation of doctors about ovarian cancer awareness. Please give a very warm welcome to Dr. Janine Slowinski.
My name is Dr. Janine Slowinski. I am a radiologist and I have ovarian cancer. I've been asked to speak today because I cross that bridge between patient and doctor. Thank you so much to COCA for inviting me, and thank you so much to the other speakers today. I was diagnosed at age 44 in June of 2007 with stage 3C ovarian cancer. My cancer is still active, and I have been in treatment almost continuously for the past 3 years. My symptoms started about 6 months before I was diagnosed. I had gassiness, bloating, bowel changes, and right upper quadrant pain. I saw a gastroenterologist who did a gallbladder ultrasound that did not show any gallstones. We thought I had irritable bowel. I tried several different GI enzymes, acidophilus, dietary changes, but nothing worked. That should have been the tip-off. I never got better. Irritable bowel and minor digestive problems get better and worse off and on. Some of the treatments worked for a while. None of mine did. And I was so busy working, 5, 10-hour days a week and a weekend every month, I just didn't go to a doctor. I did not take care of myself. Then I started putting on weight. My spring clothes didn't fit. But I thought, you know, I'm in my 40s, nearing menopause, and this is just what happens. But my teenage daughter thought I was pregnant. And I did notice that although my waistline was increasing, you could see my ribs on the sides. I called back the gastroenterologist and he scheduled a colonoscopy. Before I had a chance to see my internist or get the colonoscopy, I went to work on a Saturday. And I know this is really wrong, but I asked the ultrasound tech just to put a probe on my belly and tell me if it was bowel gas or ascites, which is the free fluid that sloshes around in your abdomen when you have cancer. She said, "Oh, I'm sure it's just gas." And then I lifted up my shirt and she said, "Oh God." She put the probe on my belly and it was pretty bad ascites. I called my internist and he ordered me a CT scan right away that day. I watched the screen as the images came up. It showed a large amount of ascites, tumor encasing my ovaries, uterus, and part of my colon. I had a 10-centimeter mass in my left mid-abdomen and a mantle of tumor over my liver, as well as lots of little buckshot-looking tumors everywhere. My CA-125, a blood test for ovarian cancer, was 4,300. Normal is less than 35. I scheduled a GYN oncologist appointment for Monday, and they sent me right away for debulking surgery on Tuesday. It took 7 hours with 2 GYN oncologists and a cancer surgeon operating. They removed all the tumors I mentioned and lasered off the tumor around my liver. That night, I bled out 26 units of blood. The next morning, they took me back to the operating room, and I had a nick in my right adrenal artery, which was pumping blood like a Monty Python movie. I used to tell people, "It's just a flesh wound. I'll fight you with one adrenal gland." I had a very complicated post-operative course, including 2 more major surgeries for wound infection and a wound vac. My abdominal scar is about the size of a football. I used to goof on the medical students and tell them it was a shark bite. After the debulking surgery, I was treated with Taxol carboplatin chemotherapy, but my CA-125 did not come down to normal. So in the past 3 years, I've also had hormonal therapy, Doxil, an experimental pill on a clinical trial, Gemzar carboplatin, and now I'm on Gemzar with cisplatin. I get intravenous chemotherapy 2 out of every 3 weeks. Its side effects are nausea, fatigue, hair thinning, and bone marrow suppression. I'm also an insulin-dependent diabetic, so that just adds another layer of difficulty to everything. I'm in pain every day, but lately I've been able to control my pain without narcotics, so I consider myself to be very fortunate. I also get some pretty good times in between the treatments. I went to the Rockies game last night, I went to LA last weekend. I try to spend my time living, not spend it dying. I've never really been in remission, but a woman at Nikki's Circle, the COCA ovarian cancer support group, described ovarian cancer as a chronic illness treated off and on with chemo. And I guess that's where I'm at. The med students I've met have wanted to know how my experience with ovarian cancer has helped me as a doctor. And I think I'm just more open with patients and with all people. I'm no longer afraid to use words like cancer, tumor, malignant, or death. I used to stumble around those words when getting consent forms signed. But I'm also very open with words like strength, hope, support, and love. I think I've said I love you more times in the past 3 years than in the preceding 44. Sadly, I am no longer able to work as a radiologist. It feels like I really had to quit when I was at the top of my game. But now there's too much nausea, fatigue, and worst of all, the cognitive impairment that we all know as chemo brain. So I'll look at the flip side of the med student's question. How has being a doctor helped me as a patient? I think I'm much more understanding of what the doctors, nurses, and techs are going through. I'm very good at sitting patiently in waiting rooms. Did you know that the Denver Post publishes 3 crossword puzzles a day with answers? What a godsend. I also have an understanding of why some tests and treatments are being done and others are not. I don't believe in doing everything. I believe in doing every test whose results will affect my treatment. And I believe in using therapies that have been shown by research to be effective against ovarian cancer. And I also believe in complementary medicine. If yoga, qigong, Reiki, acupuncture, diet, or herbal supplements help you, go for it. But side by side with your GYN oncologist treatment plan, please. Lately, I've turned my energy towards educating the next generation of doctors. I now like to use every one of my doctor visits as a teaching moment for the med students and residents I meet. I help them find the subtle findings on my physical exam. I tell them everything that's on my mind, rather than saving the good stuff for my attending physician. Some residents are nervous around me because I'm a doctor, and I don't want that at all. I want to help make them feel good about themselves as capable young physicians. I'm also involved in Survivors Teaching Students, a program where ovarian cancer patients tell our stories to medical students on their obstetrics and gynecology rotation. It really helps them to put a face on the diagnosis they just learned about. We also teach them that the symptoms of ovarian cancer are subtle, but they do exist. Doctors just need to be aware of them. And these students need to know the symptoms of ovarian cancer, whether they are going into gynecology, family medicine, gastroenterology, or almost any field. Awareness now. I guess I'm preaching to the choir on that one. And now a shameless plug. If you're a survivor and you would like to participate in Survivors Teaching Students, please contact us through the COCA website, which is colo-ovariancancer.org. We, the patients, also have to teach our family and friends to be aware of the symptoms, especially the ones that don't go away after 2 or 3 weeks. The most common symptoms of ovarian cancer are bloating, pelvic or abdominal pain, feeling full quickly, or urinary symptoms. Pretty subtle stuff. It's funny, my best friend is a preschool teacher, and one of the subjects they teach at her school is potty training. They tell the kids to listen to your body. Listen to your body. What a concept. Remember the book everything I need to know I learned in kindergarten? Well, kids are so advanced now, they're learning the really important stuff in preschool. So let's take the lead from those knowledgeable preschoolers. Listen to your body. Take care of yourself. And to all of the survivors in the audience, best of luck to you on your journey. Thank you.
That's awesome. I just wanted to make sure I write down that website number. That sounds like something that would be good to talk about on TV. Thank you so much, Doctor. Well, we're not going to keep you. We know it's hot up there in the sunshine. You've been standing. First of all, you walked to get here, right? We had the march on the Capitol before the rally on the Capitol. And besides, there's lunch to get to, and the winds are picking up. So we want to thank you all for being here today, all of you, wherever you are listening, some in the sun, some in the shade. And we want to thank you for coming and for honoring with love and remembrance all those who have been touched by ovarian cancer. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. Stay safe this weekend.